UFC 318 New Orleans was definitely a historic night, not just for the fights, but for the farewell of a legend, Dustin "The Diamond" Poirier, who stepped into the octagon one final time and walked out with the greatest retirement the sport has ever seen. This wasn't just another fight, this was the final chapter of a legendary career, written in his home state of Louisiana, in front of thousands of people who watched him rise from Lafayette to a world-class icon in MMA. And on the other side of the octagon, none other than Max "Blessed" Holloway, a familiar face and a fan favorite in his own right. Their trilogy had already seen Dustin beat Max twice, but this time the BMF was on a mission. Max came out fast, crisp, calculated. He drew first blood, snapping Poirier's head back with a slick 1-2 combo. It was clear Holloway wasn't there to celebrate Poirier's retirement. He was there to win. In the second round, Max kept pouring it on, pushing the pace and putting Dustin on a back foot. But then, the Diamond reminded everyone who he was. Out of nowhere, Poirier rocked Holloway with a hook and followed it with his signature guillotine attempt. The crowd erupted and New Orleans came arrived. Now, Max did drop Holloway earlier in the fight, and honestly speaking, it was looking like it was about to be over. But Dustin Poirier showed his toughness, which he has showed over and over again. So I wasn't too surprised that he was able to weather the storm and come back. It was a back and forth fight, and it was definitely entertaining. I mean, it was obvious when you put these two legends together, there's only one outcome that can come out of the fight. Now, the third and fourth rounds saw a back and forth war of attrition. Poirier's jab was sharp, his heart was even sharper, but Max's volume, timing, and championship composure kept him one step ahead. And in the fifth, it was poetic, to say the least. Holloway stood tall in the center of the octagon just like he did against Gaethje and invited Poirier into the phone booth. No takedowns, no backing off, just two warriors standing and trading in the middle, toe to toe. Now, I gotta give a big props to Max Holloway, because he really doesn't need to be doing that whole coming to the middle of the octagon and pointing down and inviting his opponents to swing and bang. He was winning the fight and it was clear, but you have to give him his props for always trying to go out with a bang and making it entertaining, which is exactly what he did. And the last exchange pretty much summed up the fight. In reality, Max Holloway is definitely faster at lightweight, and he seems to be more powerful. Dustin Poirier, on the other hand, was definitely past his prime. Now, he put up a good fight, and he was a tough opponent, and it was back and forth. A close fight, honestly speaking. But Max Holloway was definitely the faster fighter. He had better combinations when he came to putting it all together. Although Poirier landed a lot of clean shots, Max Holloway was just way faster. And of course, in the end, the judges gave it to Holloway, unanimous decision, and while the win was big for Max, the night definitely belonged to Poirier. Max didn't wait for the spotlight. He handed it off, apologized to the crowd for spoiling their hero's moment, and told them to cheer louder, because a fighter like Dustin Poirier deserved more than a send-off. He deserved a standing ovation, which is what he got. Then came the tribute video, a montage of moments, fights, wars, blood, grit. Poirier watched, tears in his eyes, before removing his gloves and walking out the octagon for the final time.
Was that what you expected with your third fight with Max Holloway?
Of course. I thought he was going to be in here cracking a little bit harder, which he was. Man, this guy's tough to deal with when he's in front of you. He's slick, he's crafty, he's fast. He's the champ, you know? I got nothing but respect for Max, man. He's one of the good guys.
And what I really liked about Poirier's retirement was the fact that they put together a bunch of legendary fighters paying their tribute and talking about how Poirier inspired them. And when Poirier was walking out, he just didn't sprint out. He took his time, hugged everyone, smiled, soaked it all in, because this wasn't just the end of a fight, it was the end of a storybook career, honestly speaking. Let's not forget who Dustin Poirier really was. A man who never won undisputed gold, but still built one of the most impressive resumes in MMA history. Wins over world champions, 10 fight of the night bonuses, 4 performance of the night bonuses, and a legacy of heart, violence, and class. He beat the best of the best and lost to the best of the best. He best Conor McGregor twice, Max Holloway twice, Anthony Pettis in his prime, Eddie Alvarez in his prime, Michael Chandler, Justin Gaethje, and the list goes on. He lost to people like Islam Makhachev, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira. I mean, the absolute best of the best. He was never in a boring fight. He always was chasing greatness, and in the process, he became a household name and my personal favorite fighter. Dustin Poirier didn't need a title to be legendary. Let's be clear. He gave us everything he had every time he walked away on his terms in his home state with love, tears, and respect pouring in from around the MMA world. The Diamond may have lost his last fight, but he won the moment. He won our hearts, and he walked away from the sport with the greatest retirement MMA has ever seen. Now, when it comes to the fight itself, it was amazing, but UFC 318 was stacked with so many good fights. I mean, I think there was like only 2 fights that went to a decision. Every other fight went to a finish, and there were so many good performances. Now, of course, Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway showed much respect to each other before this fight and even after. And they actually met up backstage at the end of the fight and complained and cursed Dana White out because surprisingly they didn't get the fight of the night.
Oh, how did we not get fight of the night, bro?
We didn't?
No, it's some bullshit. Go tell Dana.
What?
Take it, tell me man, kiss his ass.
We didn't get it?
No, they gave it to freaking Allen and Matar. I don't even know.
What?
We done almost finished each other in the same damn round.
Yeah.
What the hell, bro?
You got the belt. You're the champ.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, it was an honor, bro.
No,
It really was
honor
such an
yours.
honor. Your right hand hurt?
Yeah, bro, I hit your fat head, bro. My thumb. I'm like, motherfucker, bro.
My fucking thumbs are hurting.
Yeah, my thumb hurting too, bro. Thank you.
Hey.
Like, hey, for real, let me know about the
Such
foundation.
a big fan of yours.
Let me know about the foundation.
Let me know if we can do something in Hawaii.
Yes.
I'd love to. We'll stay in touch. I'll hit you up. If there's something we can do, let's do it.
But honestly speaking, I'm not even gonna blame a lot on Dana and the UFC because there were just so many good fights that could have won the fight of the night. Brandon Allen versus Marvin Vettori ended up winning the fight of the night, and that was an amazing fight. I mean, you got Michael Johnson versus El Huber, which was a good fight as well, and so many other fights on the card. Paulo Costa outperformed what many people expected, and it looked like vintage Costa is back because he really outclassed Roman Kopylov in that fight. Now, even Kevin Holland versus Daniel Rodriguez was a good back and forth, and surprisingly, Daniel Rodriguez pulled out the win. Good card overall. Like I said, you got prospects like Vinicius Oliveira showing that he is truly legit, outclassing Kyle Phillips, and of course other fighters like Ateba Gota showing a masterclass with his power, knocking out Robert Valentin in the first round. And you got other fighters like Islam Dulatov and Jimmy Crute shining in the moment. Ryan Spann also did his thing, and honestly speaking, this was just a good card, so I don't really blame Dana White and the UFC for not giving Max and Dustin the fight of the night, but they were definitely upset about that. Now, Dana did say that Max Holloway is a legit contender who could face Ilia Topuria next, because at the end of the day, this is lightweight and they haven't really fought in that weight class, and weight class does matter. Max Holloway has beat Justin Gaethje and Dustin Poirier back to back in the lightweight division, so that is something that definitely puts him at the top when it comes to the names of the people who potentially will fight Ilia Topuria. Dana also said Ilia Topuria is a legit contender to fight for the BMF belt, so it's honestly a perfect two-way sword streak that could go anyway, and I think it totally makes sense. I'm glad Dustin Poirier retired. There's really nothing else for him to give to the sport. He did talk about how he still wants to work with the UFC and ESPN and be an analyst, and I think he would do perfectly well because he already does that once in a while, and he does a pretty good job. Max Holloway, the sky is the limit, man. This man just shows why he's one of the greatest fighters, and he keeps pushing his name up there in the rankings for the greatest of all time. What's next for him? Charles Oliveira did call him out earlier and said he should be the next person to fight for a BMF belt. But honestly speaking, I wouldn't be mad if they make Ilia Topuria versus Max at lightweight, or him fighting for a #1 contender at lightweight. I think he can definitely get another chance, even though I wouldn't be giving him much of a chance to beat Ilia Topuria. But who knows? The man always shows up, and he definitely proves that he cannot be counted out. And I just want to say, in my opinion, I think Dustin Poirier has the best resume of all time. I mean, the fighters he defeated, the fighters he lost to, I just don't think you can compare that to any other fighter who never won gold. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Who do you think has the best fight resume? And do you think Dustin Poirier had the best fight retirement, and what do you think should be next for Max Holloway? Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. Don't forget to like this video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys later.